Can you guess where I am? Good afternoon guys, and welcome to the jungle of the Philippines. God, it's hot. So I'm currently sitting on land that I own in the jungle. I own about maybe 1.5 hectares here. Let me just quickly show you around actually. So all the land you can see around me here is the land that I own. If you look up the top here, you can see some coconut trees. I also own some land up there. It's the dry season at the moment, so it's very hard to grow anything up there. No water. Whereas down here where I am, I don't know if you can see down here, there's a river running right past here. So I've picked this spot here for my coronavirus jungle survival experiment. So what's that all about, I hear you say? Well, you know guys, I came here a couple of months ago to be with my wife and children who live here in the Philippines. Since then I'm now stuck. You know, I can't fly out, nobody can fly in because of this coronavirus thing. So we don't know where it's going, you know. Hundreds of poor people have been killed already. Thousands, should I say. And you know, we don't know where it's going. It could be that it just disappears as fast as it came, or it could be that it mutates into something even worse. We don't know. Only the future can tell us that. So in the meantime, while I'm stuck here, what I've decided to do is to start growing my own food. Already it's getting very, very difficult. Sorry about the smoke here guys, I've got a little fire over there and smoke's coming my way. But yeah, and we don't know where it's going. I mean, shops are already starting to get empty. It's already very, very difficult to get into any, well, you can't, unless you've got a special permit, get into any of the cities to buy supplies. As normal in any situation like this, people hike the prices up, you know, and we don't have any income here, me and the family at the moment, you know, because we can't get, we actually have a pizza business, but because we can't buy the supplies, we can't, we've had to close that for now. So what we've done is we've moved in with my wife's family, and we're all kind of pulling our resources. The girls are making masks to help people with to cover their faces, and they're selling them for just 30 pesos each, you know, so they're not profiteering by them or anything like that. And we men are growing food. This is my land, so I'm growing my food here. The other lads are growing their food on their lands. And between us, hopefully, we'll come up with a strategy to feed ourselves. I don't know much about gardening, guys, so, you know, I'm not an expert. I have dabbled in gardening a lot in my lifetime, but I wouldn't say I was an expert. So let me show you what I've done so far. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. Hopefully not too long, but you don't know. It could be months, even years. Let's have a look at what I've done so far. So like I said, this is my land here. I've picked this little spot here because, as you can see, it's fairly flat. I've already planted, I think, around about 60, I haven't counted them exactly, but around about 60 pepper plants there, bell peppers. If you can see the plant growing nicely there, each one of these stakes has a plant growing. And hopefully they will yield quite a lot of peppers for us. That's all I've done so far. I just cleared this area. I'm currently clearing this area here. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of boulders. I'm trying to move some of them, but obviously these really big ones I'm not going to be able to move. But here I'm going to be growing on the edge here where I've cleared. I'm going to be growing squash. Down here I'm going to be growing where the sunlight comes through. If you look up here, the reason why I've chosen this spot is because it's a wide open space here and the sunlight can get through. Whereas all the rest of the areas here are pretty much covered in trees. It may be possible I may have to clear a couple of the trees just to let the extra light in, but I really don't want to be chopping trees down. I've got one tree that's already fallen down here, but I'm going to be using that one to build my cabin, or start building my cabin, which is going to be pretty much where that fire is smoking there. There's going to be a cabin there. When I say a cabin, it's just going to be really a bamboo house. I've got plenty of bamboo. Take a look over here. This is all my bamboo, very big bamboo, which is kept fed by the water down the bottom there. As you can see, it's very high, very thick, very healthy, and I'll certainly be able to make a cabin out of that. If I run out of bamboo here, I've got another massive amount of bamboo down there, and just over there, you can't quite see it, but just beyond these trees here, I've got another plantation of bamboo. So I've got plenty of bamboo. All these trees here are all mahogany. They're not very old at the moment, so I don't really want to be cutting them down. I may have to take a couple of them just to help me with building the cabin, but really that's all I want to be taking. So yeah, let's get on with clearing another part of an area so we can get these squash planted. Now, one of the things I've got to be careful, of course, is snakes. This dry leafy material is kind of a nice warm house for snakes and other insects and spiders and all sorts of creepy crawly things that I hate. So I do have to be quite careful when pulling all this stuff back. If you take it over here, for example, here's a nice old log that someone must have cut years ago. But you know, I need to move this in a minute, and this is a perfect house for a snake underneath here. You know, perfect warm, dry conditions for a snake. So you know, things like this I have to be very careful with. There's also quite a lot of wild food here, I noticed. Take a look at this plant here, for example. This to me looked like a weed, but I've been informed that it's actually called an obi. They kind of looks a bit like a potato underneath, and they use it for like flavouring ice creams and all sorts of things here. So you can peel this, boil it and eat it. I have actually eaten obi before and don't like it. I just don't like the taste. It's a very dry taste, but you know, in a jungle survival situation, then this sort of thing would come in very handy, and there's quite a lot of it everywhere. There's also some other wild vegetables and things that I'll be showing you as I find them. One of the problems at the moment, guys, is we have the dry season here, and the dry season means no rain, of course. So we're just hot all day long. Problem with that is all the plants have to be watered manually every single day. So the house that we're living in is currently up in kind of that direction over there somewhere, about 500 meters, maybe 600 meters away. So you know, I have to come down. It's up a very steep hill to get to it. So I have to come down here every single day, tend the garden, water the plants until we start getting some rain back again. I'm just going to quickly go down to the river and show you the river where I get my water. So as we walk down through here, guys, you can see the other bamboo plantation I was telling you about that you couldn't see before, directly in front of us now. Very big bamboo. So no one can say I haven't got enough bamboo for my cabin. Here's the water. It kind of forks off into two areas here. I'll just cross over here. I've got my welly boots on, so I'm alright. Yeah, so you can see here we've got kind of a river over here. A bit closer so you can see it. Kind of a river over here. River's up there, and then it kind of forks off in another direction over that way. So we've got the water running down beside our land here, which is great. Not too far for me to come for water. The river never really dries out here. We're right up in the mountains, so we seem to have a constant supply of lovely, clean, fresh water. Oh, nearly went in then. So yeah, I'm just going to gather some water here so I can water some of my plants without falling in. I've only got a small container with me at the moment. I will be bringing a bigger container down with me another time. There we go. Oh. Don't forget me knife. Always carry a good knife with you guys when you're in the jungle. You never know when you're going to need it. So yeah, you can see this is my land here, and this is kind of the start of the raw jungle here. Well guys, I've decided to call it a day because it's so blooming hot today. It's the midday sun now, and probably have a rest and come back down early evening. This is the path I have to take to get home. As you can see, there used to be a bridge here, but there's no way I'm walking across that. That wood is very, very rotten. I have seen other people cross it, but they're obviously a lot smaller and a lot lighter than me. So I'll go the long way around. Also, I'll just show you where that bridge drops down to if it did collapse. Just bear me a second, I don't lose my balance. Yeah, so here's that bridge, and look what you would fall down into if you were collapsing, if that collapsed. I don't really fancy that, do you? So I've now got a very steep climb back up to the house, a couple hundred meters from where I am now. Very hard going. Oh Jesus, really hard to climb up this hill. Hold a shovel and a phone at the same time. This vine you see here, kind of a very green vine. The root of that, I can't remember what it's called, but the root of it is very, very poisonous when you eat it. But if you peel it and then slice it into very, very thin slices, and then put it in a mesh bag and put it in the river down there. I don't know if you can see the river down there. Put the mesh bag in the river and allow the running water to run over it for a couple of days. It's then perfectly fine to eat. I don't really fancy it though, just in case. Oh, still climbing. You can just about see the house up the top there, through the trees. So not too far to go now. So here's the house that we're staying in at the moment. The family home. Made from bamboo, as you see, and brick and wood. This is the back of the house. Finally made it to the top. Hello, how are you all today?
Hello. It's dry now.
Very dry, it's very dry. Huh? There. So this is the family house, and it's normally quite noisy here because we're right on the main highway. But if you take a look at the highway, it is completely empty because of the coronavirus. No one is allowed on the roads, and so, yeah, so we're completely isolated at the moment. So there it is, guys. Can't really do anything else. I've got all the treasure hunting equipment here, my metal detectors, etc., my magnet fishing magnet, and all the things I need for treasure hunting. But unfortunately I can't do any of it because we're on total lockdown. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, you know, so all we can do is make videos about how we're surviving as a family during this coronavirus pandemic, and see if we can come up with some kind of exciting videos for you to watch. Hopefully the videos will get a little bit more exciting than today's. Try and show you literally how we're surviving down there, and you know, maybe you can be able to see the cabin growing and the food growing, and I'll show you some other things around the Philippines as well, as and when I'm able to get out. And yeah, I mean, if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great, guys. It would really help me out at the moment, because obviously if we grow the channel, we're going to earn an income from it, and we really need that income at the moment. So it would be really helping me out if you subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.